for hip hop since 1987. And I'm really excited to talk to you today because you're like a new artist that's like on the radar going up right now. Good to talk to somebody that's not like tainted by the system yet, that's like ready to roll and take this music thing, go crazy, take it serious. The video you got dropping soon is so dope. I'm really excited to kind of get into everything, that inspired you to get to this point. But before we really get deep, maybe just for the people that's not tapped in yet, you could just let them know who you are and where you're from.
My name's CNN Mikey. I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and yeah, I got a new single dropping on the 24th. I recently just did a deal with Polo G, ODA/Capital Out Records, and
So the music thing, man, like you got a unique voice, you got a style that's pretty like your own. The Midwest, as we know, has always been kind of known for like more of like a deeper, soulful music with a message, and that goes cross platform, not just hip hop, but there's like rock out of the Midwest, punk. Everything's kind of always been like a rebellious nature against the grain, doing your own thing. It's like you got a sound that's tapped in with the culture of where you're from. Maybe you could just talk about some of your inspirations coming up and how you even got started doing music in the first place.
yeah, for sure. So when I was young, like I always was interested in music. Like I love Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So I was always kind of like tapped in, like listening to Michael Jackson over again. Like he was just like the biggest like star like in my head.
Yeah.
Like I slowly started learning how to play a little bit of guitar when I was real young. And so I really was like musically like inclined, would you say? Like I was always like trying to make music, but I didn't really take it serious until
Mm,
after high school when I got done with like sports and stuff. I got tapped in with my managers. I was trying to send my managers now at the time like demos for like
mm.
months, and my music just wasn't good enough. So I kept working on like I just worked on my little studio setup at home, kept working every day. That's really like what helped me like create the drive and like really find my love for music. But like I'll say, like as far as other inspirations, Post Malone's like a big one.
Mm.
Uh, I say obviously Polo G, Drake. Drake's another big one as well. Um, I really like the Beatles, Dominic Fike.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fire.
Also, of course, Future, Lil Durk, Young Boy. Like a lot of like the new age generation artists too. Like they kind of helped me like find my sound as well. Like Tory Lanez was a
Yeah.
big one. There's a lot of inspiration. I take a lot of inspiration from different things. I listen to a lot
Yeah.
of music.
Musically, I could hear a lot of your influences in what you're doing, but it's like
Yeah,
interesting because you're doing it your own way, pulling from a wide range of influences. And then not only that, just the do it yourself approach, the fact that you have your own recording set up and you're kind of like putting yourself, in more of like an executive chair when you go to make music, it's like you're picking the beats, you're recording yourself, you're making your own demos. That's really respectable. You know what I mean? For a young artist to be able to put it together like that is dope.
of course. Yeah, I like to be hand on. Like even with production at times, like when I'm like hooking up with like a producer or anything, like I don't know how to work the programs like too well yet, but like I can like tell them like where I want to hear certain sounds and like what
Yeah.
instruments that like stuff like that. So like I feel like definitely what you're saying, yeah, like being hands on is like helps you like create exactly what you want when you're making it, you
Yeah.
know?
And higher quality too, like every artist in my opinion is a producer at heart. You have a vision, so it's like being able to like kind of direct the flow creatively in a session to get the best outcome is also something that takes years to learn too. That's something you can't really coach that.
Of course. It's just a feeling.
To be able to like create a song like that, in the room is a part of what makes any music or art special, but I could hear it in what you're doing. I could see that there's some care put into it. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna rush through and rap these bars and I'm out. It's like you're making real songs, real music. Maybe you could talk about that songwriting process really quickly. Like, do you come up with the hook first? Do you hear the beat first? Like, what's the actual process like?
From time to time it'll be a little bit different. Uh like when I'm in the studio, I like to cook like more like doing sessions like hands on more. Normally it's just like if I catch a hit, it's like I got the hook melody like that. It's like
Mm,
play it, like I'll figure out the hook melody within the first like 5 minutes if it's something that's coming out like that. I'll go out there, I'll figure out the hook normally first. I'll go from there and I usually just punch in like on the verses or like the actual words, but like as long as I have the melody, like it's all good from there.
yeah. No, your music is lyrical and it's melodic. It's like a really good blend. Can't wait to see kind of like what's to come now that you've like kind of found your voice, found the bounce and track. There's something to this. Like maybe you could talk about the message behind it.
CNN, Chasing New Nirvana, and
Mm,
that's more like just trying to like find like your own happiness because everybody wants to achieve something in life. You know what I'm saying? And like they have their own like goal or like something that they want to achieve, and it's just like what I've always preached in my whole life is you only live once, you feel me? And like if I really want something, I'm gonna go for it and I'm like gonna chase that forever, basically.
and just locked in with generational artists like Polo G, somebody like that who also has message in their music. I'm sure that's like taking everything you're doing to a whole nother level now. Like I can't imagine like what's coming down the pipe for the rest of this year and the next year.
For sure, man. I mean, Polo G was one of those artists that I grew up listening to a lot. Like in the high school, like he was like the hottest thing out. And me and my homies, like we always talk about how Polo G would be like how Polo G was the perfect artist for me to meet and like sign to because
Mm,
I feel like we kind of fit like musically just because I'm more than just like a rapper, just as he is like he's really good with the melodic stuff and he can like dip his toes in different like
yeah.
genres and that. So I was talk we always talk about that too. It's kind of funny, like how one of my role models that was like a big inspiration to me is like now like I'm really like signed to him and it's like just it's
Yeah,
surreal.
isn't that crazy? And it just goes to show you that like things can happen. Like I think a lot of people have this such like a, oh, it's so impossible to make it in the music business attitude, but like it depends on your definition of making it. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it's like, yo, for somebody to lock in with an artist that they were inspired by and then actually start to do real business, like that shows you how possible it really is. You know, fame and fortune aside, the possibility of getting
Yeah.
in the business, getting in and getting your feet 10 toes down on the ground and getting going is possible. So salute to you, man, for getting it going because I know that the grind isn't easy.
The world works in mysterious ways, man. Like
Mm.
I was the way that met Polo G is I missed a lift. Like I was late for a lift. I was back home catching a flight from LAX to back to Toledo, and I missed the lift late, whatever. Like dang, like I'm about to miss my flight. I get there and I'm going up to security, and all of a sudden there's Polo G, like 6 people in front of me, and I'm like texting all my friends. I'm like, oh my god, that's Polo G. I'm about to show him my music. I'm texting all my friends, like telling them about it. So now I have to do it, right? Like, so I go up to him. His brother just kind of looked at me and was like, "Hey, we late for a flight, Brody." He looked at me like that, and I'm like, I'm about to turn around. I'm like, well, I guess it's raps, right? So I'm about to turn around, and all of a sudden, like, I'm like, man, I'm about to just try one more time. So I go back to him like, hey, bro. I was like, Polo, you know SBRPZ? And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I know him. And I was like, bro, I was like, me and him are like locked in, bro. Like, I really do this. Like, I just need to
Yeah.
listen to one. That's all I'm asking, just one song. And he was like, all right, I got you when I get through security. I give it to him. He play him just off the phone. He listened to it. He started bobbing his head. All of a sudden, his little brother, Trench, starts walking up too. And he's like kind of wondering what's going on. He listened to it too. And they both, like, I swear, they're like synchronized. Like, and he gets through like half the song, because he's late for his flight. He gets through half of his song and he's like, yo, bro, like text this number. And it was like a random number. And I'm like, all right. He's like, send him your Instagram and like send him some more music, da da da. So I text this number and ended up being his tour DJ. So I'm texting with him on the plane. I bought the plane Wi-Fi and stuff. I sent him a bunch of demos. What ended up happening was I'm on the plane, right? I'm flying Spirit. I'm like, I'm on the plane and I get a text. It's like, this Polo, broski. He's like, I want you to be a part of the team.
Mm.
He was if that's something you're interested in. So he was like super polite about it. And he's the fact that he said it's something you're interested in, I wanted to be like, bro, like, come on, bro, you
Yeah.
Polo
Are
G.
you serious?
Like, are you right now? Like you're Polo G. So I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah. So ever since then, man, like we just been locked in. I've been flying out to LA. I went out to Rolling Loud with him, got backstage. So it's been a fun ride. Uh, my managers and my team and Polo included, like we've all been just like working like continuously, getting the content right, because content's a big part of the game now, and really just working on the records.
So think about it, man, doing what you're doing, taking it seriously, starting to build up your connections. knowing what you want out of the game and then being able to put the plays together. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. A lot of people wouldn't even have shot this shot in the first place.
Of course, that's what my majors always told me all the time. I'm like, man, like, like if this is what you really want in life, like if I really want to be an artist, bro, I'm gonna do that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not just it doesn't stop there. You know, hopefully you'll carry that through your whole career. Like just keep shooting these shots. You might hit some game winners. You might miss, but you might hit some game winners coming soon, like for sure, for sure. We're talking about this single and video that you're about to drop. I don't want to give too much away before the fans get to see it, but this is definitely a special record called For My People Special, dropping within the next week. So I know you're
Yeah,
like already on go mode, gonna go crazy with the promo of the single and the video. I love it. It's the hook, especially, man, it's been stuck in my head since I first heard it. It's one of them. It's one of them ones. You know what I mean? Like one of them ones. The video is crazy. The music that you're putting out, like I said, is kind of deep, but it also looks like you're having fun with it. You know, it's like you love
yeah,
what you're doing. You know what I mean? It shines through. It's almost like a magic trick. It's like, yo, here's these catchy beats and these melodic
yeah,
flows, but then like you really like start to listen to the lyrics and look deeper into the message of the music. And I know that there's people that's going to hear this record and it's going to relate to them. How important is that to you to make relatable music? Are is it just being authentic and true to yourself, or do you like actually sit and think like, yo, if I make this music, like do you think about the fans, like when you're, I guess is the better question, do you think that deep into it when you're making these songs?
Well, when I make like the more like songs that are like true to myself, like story wise, like because everybody makes like a girl song or
Mm-hmm.
like a club
Yeah,
song or
yeah,
like stuff like at that point when you're making that like type of commercial music, like I feel like you definitely got to think about the relatability with the fans a little bit, because you want something that people are gonna sing along to. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You make that type of like commercial type music, but when you get into like my story and stuff, like that's the reason I became an artist. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't care like what anybody like really thinks. I guess like I
yeah.
mean I obviously cares what people think to a certain extent. No matter who you are, but like I kind of just do my own thing, like and just like pull it from here. And when I lay down like all that stuff, it's all just it's not to answer your question, it's not like thinking about the fans or anything like that. It's more just like telling
Yeah.
my story.
No,
Yeah.
because you make music. I like to say it's like music that you can't hate on. You know,
Okay.
it's like you might could be like, oh, maybe the 808 needs to be louder or this or that. You know what I mean? Like I could see people having technical opinions, but you can't
Yeah.
hate on the music itself. You know what I mean? That you're making. It's relatable, and it's like I could see people who even don't speak English. They're gonna feel the melodies. They're gonna feel the rhythm. They're gonna feel the beats. Like you're definitely on to something. Outside of this single and video, if you can give away, like maybe what's coming down the pipeline for the rest of the summer, like what's 2023 looking like after the single drops?
Of course. Well, I mean, I've been working on like lot of exciting like a lot of exciting singles. We haven't really began to like bring together a full like project yet because I feel like my first project I want to like be super like not critique. I don't know if the word would be like I just want to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
really want to hone that in and like take time to do that. Right now, it's gonna be go time from here. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna be out of new music. Like new visuals. We're gonna drop some stuff for the summer for sure. We're gonna drop
yeah,
a like nice little summer song. Summer got some stuff coming after this single.
yeah,
I just been getting in with like some of the best like producers in the game.
yeah,
I've been getting in like getting in with like new artists like stuff like that. But yeah, man, like just keep working and the music just keeps getting better. That's what gets scary.
yeah. And then like kind of looking forward, maybe deeper into the future, like where do you see this music taking you in a couple of years? Is there anything like, future goals that you got in mind?
I always like be shooting high. Everybody wants to go platinum. Everybody wants to
Yeah,
number one. But really, man, like I just like the way I envision like where this like is gonna take me and stuff. Like I really just want to be having fun with it, and like
yeah,
still keep like, pushing myself, and like giving myself friendly competition. But like as far as setting like those goals and stuff, like I set those in my head. That's something that I just fight with myself with. I'm not out here gonna tell everyone like, hey, I'm gonna go platinum, but like I'm going platinum.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta know. You gotta know. It's something that's gotta know. Yeah, definitely platinum. I could see it coming, man. I could see big numbers coming. The work, man, I know it's going to improve. I'm excited to see, like, yo, if we tap back in like a year from now, I can't imagine like what 2024 is going to be crazy. You know, we keep building, it's going to look nuts. Before we wrap up, maybe just kind of give you the floor. I don't know if you got any shout outs or thank yous or like any last words, like anything you want to say, but I just kind of want to give you the floor to wrap this up.
Really, I just want to shout out my team. My managers and Patrick and Mike. I want to shout them out. I want to shout out Polo, obviously. I want to shout out my family, everything like that. And I guess just keep looking out for more music, man. We're gonna be going up. So thank you
Yes,
for having me.
sir. Yes, sir. Going up. And for people that want to tap in further, where are you most active on social media? Where can people get at you to find the new music and what you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, all platforms. At CNN Mikey. I'm super active on TikTok, Instagram, but probably if you're gonna tap in with me, tap in on Instagram.
Yeah.
Uh, all platforms, CNN Mikey. You'll find me everywhere. I mean,
All right, that's what it is, man. Well, yo, thank you. You about to bless the streets with a little bit of a classic, man. I'm just gonna let the people know what's coming. I've heard it,
yeah,
I've seen it. I know what's about to go down. Everyone that you just thanked, I want to thank them too, man, because it takes a village to put a whole new artist and a brand and identity together. And you're there. I'm really looking forward to what the future holds, man. Many blessings. And thank you again from Hip Hop Since 1987, man. We're looking forward to the new single and video dropping very soon.
yes, sir. May
All right, man.
24th.
Peace.
Yep. See you.